Hello everybody. Today we are continuing our look at basic tools, and our focus is still on twist drills, or otherwise known as drill bits. In our last video we discussed the basic parts of a bit. In this video we're going to discuss how these bits are collected, packaged, sold, and used. And generally speaking, if you're working with a lot of different size hole requirements, often you will order a drill index, such as this one here. An index is simply a collection and packaging of common size drill bits. And in this case, we've got a pretty decent index, pretty good sturdy packaging, and several options of bit sizes here. The one thing the FAA wants you to understand is that bits come in 4 indexes. Standard twist drills will come in 4 indexes. They are fractional, number, letter, and metric. In this case, we're looking at a number index, and if you'll notice, the smallest bit here, number 60, is our tiniest in diameter and also shortest in length. That is common among all these indexes. As your diameter increases, your length will increase, and that is known as a jobber length bit, and that's common among all 4 indexes. Do you remember what they were? Fractional, number, letter, and metric. So in this case, we have a number index, and as you notice, the higher the number, the smaller the bit. And we start, in this case, with a 60, and we progress up to our largest, which is this number 1. Now, in your numbered indexes, it's common 1 to 60. There may be some smaller ones, but this is your common group, 1 to 60 in a number. This is our friendly metric index, and if you'll notice here, they made life a little easier for us. And let me see if I can get it to focus. We have our metric size, in this case, 6.5, but they also put our decimal equivalents to make it handy in case we're dealing with drawings and we're dealing with decimals. Once again, same thing, even though this is a metric index, it follows a lot of the standard rules. Our smallest bit is our shorter, which indicates a jobber length, and it works its way all the way up to the largest bit in the index. So if we have all 4 of these indexes available, we have a lot of options. And if you say, Jay, why do we need 4 indexes? Well, it's pretty simple. Fractional indexes, which is what you would commonly see at the local hardware or big box store, they're used quite a bit, and no pun intended, for your standard around the house, around the shop type of jobs. But in aviation, our fasteners are all part of a coded system, and the clearances necessary to install those fasteners can't be found with 1 index of bits. For example, if we were going to drill a hole for a number 4 rivet, that's 4/32 in diameter, which reduces to 1/8, you would think, well, I'll go get an 1/8 inch bit out of my index. Well, an 1/8 inch bit is 0.125 in diameter. Our fastener, which is an 1/8 inch fastener, is also 0.125, which means we would drill a hole that the fastener wouldn't fit in. The hole has to be slightly larger than the hardware we're going to insert. So to put a rivet in, a number 4 rivet, our fractional index is would do us no good. Our next size up is way too large to make that hole for that rivet. So what could we do? Well, since we have these other indexes, we can look for a bit that would align with the fastener we're going to install. So in the case of that number 4 rivet, 1/8 inch or 0.125, if you look, a number 30 number bit in the number index makes a hole that is 0.1285, which is 3.5 thousandths larger than our fastener, which would provide a hole with a very good fit. We could install it by hand, but it wouldn't be loose and wallowing around in the hole. So that's the reason we have all these indexes, is because often we need bits that may not fall within a standard index. By going over from fractional to number and number to letter, we can find a bit that will make a hole that our fastener will properly fit in. Or in some cases, if you're working on European manufactured aircraft, we may need this metric index to make holes for fasteners that align with that metric system. So to sum everything up, drill bits can be bought in groups. The groups are called an index. The index could be fractional, number, letter, or metric. And as the bits grow larger in diameter, they grow longer in length. That's referred to as a jobber. As you can see here, this is a much longer bit than the smaller bits within this index. So that is what we refer to as jobber length. Now you can order specialty bits. Not everybody needs a full index. For example, these bits here were ordered as, let's see here, these are number 28 bits, and they were ordered in a quantity of 12. Of course, you could order as many as you would like, but if we're using bits of a certain size regularly, it wouldn't make sense to buy an index for every bit you would need. We can order these bits individually in large quantities for the use in our shops. Now, one other thing I'll point out is in this case, this is a jobber length bit, but what if I needed to drill into a place that I needed additional length on the bit? I may not have clearance for my drill, but I may be able to get my bit there. Well, you can order most all of these bits in specialty lengths, so we could get a small diameter bit in a long length and meet some of those hard to get to places that we often see in aircraft structures. So remember, our bits are grouped in sets called indexes. There are 4 indexes: fractional, number, letter, and metric. Bits and indexes come in jobber length, which the larger the diameter, the longer the length, is the way that system works. But we can order specialty bits and get the smaller diameters in longer lengths if we choose to. I hope this helps you better understand these indexes. Study hard, work hard, succeed.